are for another live performance from the Duncan Showroom, and it's Flow for the Love of Words with host Bill Levity.
Yay!
Yay! With a live audience, too. That's great. Well, of course, most of it
great.
has to be a live audience because they're the poets or the people who will be getting on the stage and doing that. Hey, Bill, you know what I wanted to point out?
Yes. No. What?
I saw Lisa today.
Alicia.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Malachi's
Yes.
mom.
Yeah.
You know what she was wearing?
Poetry.
No, a headband.
Oh yeah.
And I remember just talking about that last week when we were like, Eugene's got one too, right?
Eugene Smith. Yes, has a headband.
Yeah, and Ted.
Dr. Reverend Ted Cadillac has a headband.
And Malachi.
Yeah.
They all kind of like are part of kind of like you are without the headband.
Yeah, I'm without the headband. All right.
I remember you saying you used that wonderful word, cultist.
I think I said that out loud on TV. when I
Yes,
was
you
over there,
did.
yes.
You can't get away from
It's
it.
a cult. And Leanie Beanie, she's in your.
Oh, and Leanie Beanie, right?
Yeah.
Another one of your friends.
Yes, right. It's hard to resist. We were talking about that earlier, weren't we? Peer pressure. It's immense. Wadey, how are things otherwise?
It's 2026.
It sure is. It's amazing.
And you know, it's just I've been going through. I got all these sayings that I've been getting put in little plastic sheets so I can put them around. Then I'm going to put them on T-shirts, right?
Nice. Yes.
The one like sometimes you got to believe it to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We deserve what we get if we accept what they give us.
Yes.
I am a shameless and relentless agitator.
Optimist. Oh, agitator. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Another one is the meek are getting ready.
Indeed, they are. Indeed, they are.
Isn't that a good one?
Yes, I like it.
Another one I have is say no to most drugs.
Most.
Well, having just got it away from the operation, and I was just talking with Jeff Downey too, who is clean and sober.
Yeah.
And this time, like he's going. Okay, that's too much information, but he had to realize that there are some times where drugs work.
Indeed, they're helpful.
When they're especially in pain management.
Yes. You didn't get drowned too far into the rabbit hole, though.
No, I've still got one dilaudid left, and I've got 150. Well, what I got worried about is when I went in and they said, I said, okay, the dilaudid, I'm out of it now. What do I do? It's still got this new pain. What do I do? And she said, well, here, I'll give you some T3s.
Ooh.
So when I went to go pick them up, it was this bottle. And I said, how many are in here? He said, 180.
Oh, shite.
And I went, they must know something about pain that I'm going to go through that I don't realize yet and how long this was going to take. But I got it down. I probably only did about 25.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah.
And anyone who's done T3s, as Tim will attest, you don't want to.
No, you sure don't.
No, it's a whole nother story.
Yes.
You got to take your fiber with them or you'll be shitting down.
Thanks for
See? For the
sharing
love of words.
There you go.
So this is the 18th season, right?
18th year. We're in our 18th year.
We're agreed to that. Hey,
What? Oh, yeah.
first time we've
count
agreed
together.
on that.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, for those who, I've got new glasses, which I've been wearing since New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really kind of neat because, without the bottom part, it's just easy to do everything I do with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's open. It's for the love of words tonight. Get
Sorry.
the hell out of here.
No, no.
No, you can stay. I try to convince these guys that are coming tonight just to read their.
Read their lyrics.
But anyway, about the glasses, the thing about them that I've noticed though is that they're progressive, which means that when you think that I'm agreeing with you, actually what I'm trying to do is just focus. Okay, so don't go thinking because I don't always agree
With
what's put in front of me.
No, you don't.
No.
I know that about you.
But anyway, we got a newbie here tonight.
At least one or two.
At least one,
Three.
two, maybe
Three.
three,
Two.
and we got a stand-up comic.
Maybe.
Maybe. No pressure.
A literature lover as well.
Yes, very much so. Well,
Yeah.
it's all about the choice of words and how they're presented.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not, that's not, like he's just good at what he does.
Him.
That one.
Yeah. Okay.
Pronoun, him.
Him. Well, thank
It's
you
your
very
show.
much.
I'm going to leave you to it.
Okay, thank you, sir. And
Ladies and
thank you
gentlemen,
for
Bill Levity, your host.
18 years of entertaining words And it is good to see some new people. So for the songwriter, this is my latest. I don't get out too much these days. I just sit at home in a television haze. All my dreams are on TV. I like a thriller and a mystery. Sometimes I walk down the path to a hidden cave. It's carved in the rock by the waterfall. It's deep and dark and damp and sweet. There's trees in the woods and ducks on the pond. And I look up to the rising sun. I throw off my clothes and I run on down. Dive in the water, how I love to swim. And then I climb on the rocks and I jump back in. You know, we used to play hockey out in the street. We'd scramble aside when the cars would beep. We'd pick new teams most every day. Those were fierce and fun-filled times. We'd play football out in the park, calling out plays till well after dark. I was clicking my fingers and going long. Oops, the wide receiver singing our song. And I raise my head to the rising sun, take off my clothes and I run on down. Dive in the water, how I love to swim. Climb on the rocks and I jump back in. Well, I don't go out too much these days. I just sit at home in a television haze. All my dreams are on TV. I like a thriller and a mystery. Yeah. Doesn't have a name yet, though. Needs a name. Thank you. I did find a poem that I wrote for Mark, and I had the wrong... He went through a thing. He had a thing, but I gave it the wrong name. Oh, I've got the right name in there. All hail the AFib king. He will not die yet. They found a cure, but it's not a pill. Some pills are too risky. Your eyes pop out and your anus lies silently bleeding. No, this cure is genius. They go in through the groin, straight up to the heart. Aren't all cures for men, hit or miss, bound to travel from the heart to the groin or the groin to the heart? Or the groin to the heart? Not for me. I put one of them special medical clamps on my heart. Just blood gets through, no feeling. Just enough blood to urinate, not enough for excitement. That's safer. There's so much random seed spreading. Heartfelt lust with severe side effects has occurred, but still, I wrote a poem the other day, The Woman with Corn Silk Hair, because I needed to. I'm still seeking redemption. And she had just the eyes, just the wit, the brain, the bottom. I wrote her a damn good poem, though, inside a local Duncan art card and dropped it off at her work. Just her name on the outside of the envelope. I didn't say anything stupid in the poem. I stuck to the story of the art on the card. It was beautiful. I know when I'm bullshit. I do in the letter, however, inside, I waxed on about this and that and eventually got to the number one bullshit in the card. I said, I want to extend the donkey paw of friendship to you, having just played a donkey in a pantomime. That's what I said. How witty. And she'd just seen the show. That was really stupid, Billy. I might as well have written a great poem on a great card and then wiped my bottom with it. After writing that silly line, she never took up the offer of friendship, neither by phone or by writing a terrific answer poem to my email. As I said, she's not only beautiful, she's smart. She knew that inside that friendship paw was the teeth and tongue of a very hungry wolf. Meow. Just like Grandma, I wanted to eat her all up. Oh well, I'm not dead yet. I hope to make many more ridiculous mistakes in the pursuit of love in this grizzled old shell. Too fly for a white guy. I look like every other lonely old fart dying of thirst in a garden of earthly delights. Hi-ho. That was for Mark. Thank you. And I don't mind suffering depression. I think it's kind of cyclical, and then I come out of it a bit in the spring, as many people do. But the thing that's been bothering me lately is that AI has picked up on it, and I never Google things about mental health or ask questions. Tapeworms, yes, and then I understood why I was getting pictures of people with lesions and creatures flying out of them. And all the best detoxifying recipes. But this other issue I don't think I'd ever centered on mental health. But I started getting this very good death poetry. I thought, whoa, this is weird. They're just helping me, move on. Hold on, sorry. I don't usually do the phone, but I'm going to do it quickly, hopefully. I'm at that point in life where everything feels pointless. If I live, it's just passing time. If I die, maybe it's a kind of rest because I'm so tired. Tired of pretending, tired of hoping, tired of carrying a life that no longer feels like mine. Well, holy shit, AI. They hit it right on the head, didn't they? Which has made me think, well, that's not very imaginative then. If I can relate to that, I should probably kick my own ass and do something, bicycle, play ping pong. But yeah, I started getting a bunch of those types of poems from some guy named Tickus. So you got to watch what you think about even when you're on the internet. Yes, that sounds a bit woggly. Okay, one more short one, because I went to the Whiskey Fest and very good artisanal breweries. No, they're distilleries that we have all across Canada. And this fellow was here, Davin de Kergomox. That's not how you say his name. Kergomu, maybe, I don't know. I couldn't hear because they didn't have a microphone for him, and unfortunately he was very soft-spoken, though very knowledgeable. Handles, Mickeys, shots, or drams, no matter what its measure, Canadian whiskey is a story of Canada. It is a story of a colony becoming a nation, of early settlers finding creative ways to adapt old world practices to new and often hostile environments, a story of craftsmanship, ingenuity, family feuds, fortunes made, and legacies lost, and of 21st century artisans reviving a pioneer enterprise that giant conglomerates, abetted by government, had long since absorbed. The story begins with farmers protecting their crops from pests, and millers turning waste into something they could sell or feed to cattle. It tells of Canadians possessing Canadian grain, Canadian water, and that other abundant ingredient, wood, from Canada's extensive forests, into something they could sell locally and abroad. Almost from the beginning, Canadian whiskey enjoyed global repute, and it is still enjoyed in more than 160 countries. But until recently, Canadian whiskey received little attention as a distinct whiskey style. Like Canadians themselves, it tends to fly under the radar. Is that really true? Nevertheless, specialists and consumer media now cover Canadian whiskey regularly. Connoisseurs line up to taste it at sampling events, and whiskey clubs, once the bastions of Scotch, now celebrate Canadian whiskey too. And though Canada's best whiskeys sometimes do not make it out of the country, others are now found only outside Canadians' borders. However, abroad, and discouragingly at home, much of the received wisdom about Canadian whiskey is still fantasy. Yeah. Anyway, I went to a master talk at Stillhead. And the gentleman was very lovely and had great stories, but he needed a microphone. And he spoke about all the wonderful things happening in the whiskey industry. So without further ado, we're going to get Mark the baker up here. Are you ready, Mark? I know how you like to go early. Maybe, unless he wasn't ready. So yeah, we have been doing this for about 18 years, and it just really evolved as a reading evening, sometimes with original works and sometimes with just people's favorite pieces from their favorite authors. Mark, how are you?
Don't go anywhere just yet.
Oh, you want me to stay?
Yeah. Okay.
Now I can go?
Now you can go.
Okay. Mark Primard, ladies and gentlemen.
This morning I was having breakfast with Shannon, and I just made myself a breakfast sandwich, and then I noticed that she was eating a muffin, and she was buttering the muffin, and I looked at the muffin and I thought, should I have a muffin? And I voiced this out loud, and she says, well, sure, if you want one. I said, yeah, but I just had a breakfast sandwich, and she says, oh, well, no, you shouldn't have it. And I thought, what did I say to her? I said, yeah, but it's just like I'm stressed, so I wanna eat. And she says, what do you got to be stressed about? And I said, I've been married to you for 28 years. I'm clearly very stressed. So these are a couple or some poems that I just sort of randomly picked out. This is also called At Breakfast, and it was written several years before.
At breakfast, I'm explaining how nice it would be if I could take up with a 23-year-old. And my wife tells me this part's soul-crushing, yeah, that's not going to happen. She is eating toast, crunching the crust, as a fox might crunch the bones of a chicken between her teeth. You've already had your midlife crisis, she says, and that's true. I did fuck around, but I also felt guilty, which detracted from the experience and, in some sense, begs a do-over. You might think that the affair is never mentioned, but no, it does get discussed, sometimes over breakfast in conversations where I rankle against the very thing which brings me stability and comfort. Our marriage can look like the calm surface of a lake, the tension underneath, mainly me, a fish battling the hook. Vaginaville. I hadn't been to Vaginaville, not for some time, and that brought back some reminiscing of how the Penisville Express went in and out of Vaginaville, puffing streams of white smoke out its tip. Choo-choo, 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 all aboard. That's what I remember, and I did. I went places, huffing at first, puffing, until finally I was going so fast smoke curled out my ears. In the engine room, a man drenched in sweat threw coal into the furnace fast as he could, so that ladies, dressed in petticoats and finery, could drink tea and rest comfortably. My manual. There are times when my ego takes up two spaces. There is me and me next to it. How fascinating it is, then, that something so big can the next day be so small. So small. Harrison Ford and I have the same grumpy face, and when I smile, I'm told the whole world lights up. When I smile, it's like something in the air split. I think it's because I'm a poet that I expand and contract like this. But I can't fake a smile, not to save my life. So unless I have something to smile about, I do not. Some people smile all the time, and frankly, you can never tell whether those people are happy at all. I was at a dinner party with a woman, and everything was fabulous. And by the end of the evening, I felt that I had no bearing, that I had lost my compass. I could not tell when she was happy and when she was not. People should not be allowed to use words like amazing and awesome. Words like that really offend me. I like a rich vocabulary, and failing that, warmth and a good laugh. And finally, I don't like the title of this, so I'm going to skip the title. I know that it was started when I was flying over the city of Vancouver one morning as I was making my way probably to Edmonton or something like that. Look below at the brightly lit greenhouses as you approach overhead the city of Vancouver. It is a printed circuit board which belies the state of its harried inhabitants who toss in their sleep, bothered by gluten, the dying planet, the price of gasoline, the price of real estate, the price of everything. Everything has a price. Your baggage is with you. Your baggage has always been with you. But for now, you've stored it in the carry-on overhead. And as you approach, the sun is there, blinding. You feel that you still weigh the same, maybe less.
so male centric so far. We need the balance of the feminine. By gosh, we really do. How are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome in your first time. Oops.
Thank you.
Is it your first time here?
Here? Yes.
Even
Not
at all?
actually. I have come to musical events
Good,
here, but
good.
it's-
Right,
yeah.
right. What was your what band did you see?
I don't remember.
That's okay.
One was a cover of Pink Floyd, I think.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I love that. Welcome, and you've been writing all your life? You love
I wrote all
literature?
my life, and finally somebody said, I think you should put some of this in a book. So I
Nice.
did.
Good. It's called what?
It's called Nature's Testament.
Nature's Testament. Lovely.
But there isn't just nature in it, but
Right.
there's a lot of nature in it.
Good. Well, welcome and look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I thought giving some, trying to identify and encourage all those people out east who are snowed under, I thought I'd start with one that came, I wrote it after I came with my husband back from, I think it was Edmonton or Calgary, where it was freezing cold, and just after Christmas, and we arrived. We couldn't land in Abbotsford, which is what we were aiming for, because there was a big ice storm and the airport was closed. We ended up landing in Vancouver, and they were going to bus us to the airport. But my husband is severely disabled and in a wheelchair, and I said to somebody, is the airport open? And, well, we don't know. And I said, well, I need a place for my husband to sit and wait while I chip the ice off my car, which is in the parking lot there. So they decided to put us up in a posh hotel for the night, which was rather nice. And the next day we had our own taxi out to Abbotsford Airport. And the sun had come out, and it had quite caused a different way of looking at things. And so this poem is called Transit Gloria. Ice storm at Christmas, destructive, disruptive, interfering with our tidy lives, bringing brokenness to some, the ultimate break, and yet the morning bright reveals a fairyland of beauty. Night reveals delight in trees decorated by icicles and light. So God surprises, inserting glory light into every horrid disarray, turning brokenness to something life-giving, and so to stay awake, alert to moments God transforms from grit and messiness to surprising gifts of presence amidst the loss. Thank you. This one was written for a friend of mine who is now deceased. She really struggled with depression all her life and ultimately lost that battle. But it really made me own my own brokenness and fallenness and everything. So this is called After the Fall. I made a friend of a broken woman whose shattered mirror spoke the truth. No longer did a fine and sculptured skin, embroidered by well-mannered speech, and clothed in finest vestments, cover 1,000 wounds of time, inherent weakness, guilt of choices poorly yielded. The inner corruption erupted forth, a painful, blistered pressure sore. No hiding places left. She lay, discarded, useless, no hope left, fulfilling dreams of who she might become. I heard the one man standing say, nor do I condemn. And new compassion raised her up to go and sin no more. I chose to walk from death to life, but now I find in every broken mirror the wounded hope that needs a friend to walk along, to hold the light, perhaps a shield or just a hand to find a turning point where stones are dropped and shattered shards of life become mosaics. We cannot hear the call to rise until we know ourselves discarded and despised. And once we know such grace, how can the poor and broken cease to have a face? And on a lighter note, a friend of mine is always trying to get rid of her stuff. And after 50 years of friendship, I've decided it's a never-ending task for her. And I wrote this for her. It's called Dust Bunnies. And it starts with a quote from the Anglican Book of Common Prayer. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. My life, O Lord, is filled with lives left over, or infinite potential on the verge of birth. All the untidy bits of life that litter living rooms in piles, are they somehow a key to my eternal destiny? Or just the detritus of my brokenness? And just whose job will it be to tidy up loose ends I leave strewed in my wake? I should hate to be the cause of bitter toil for one I love. To you, omnipotent ruler of uncontrolling grace, I leave my piles and run to your embrace, and you with one great swiffering arm can relegate my piles to some cosmic built-in vacuum system left behind. That's it?
Six, very good, well done. And I appreciate the writing, especially the second one. It's a good message, isn't it? For all of us to remember. Yes, well, I hope you come back again. Diane. Well written.
I have books for sale if anybody wants one.
Good. We catch you after the show. And I know we have a couple juggling laundry. So it's David and... What's your name? Elaine. David, do you want to come up? Sure. While you're here, you're on your cycles or your off cycle?
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat, I know. Oh, the horrors of the laundromat. Well, we do have Shakespeare auditions coming up for you people who love Shakespeare, being in plays and such, beginning on the 8th, which is Super Bowl day. I know you'll be busy that day. The 8th, the 10th, and the 12th next week. So go have a seat. So if you're interested, please ask for details. And you, sir, are from? Where are you from?
Well, right now we're in North Saanich, and
Nice.
Music brought us out to BC, where we have a show for French immersion schools called Quoi en Toi, and a few
Right.
other things. Right now we're celebrating Mardi Gras, the Carnival.
Great.
And but also we're David and Elaine, and we were booked by the Folk Music Society of Victoria to play in May, but we show up at open mics and
Yeah.
play wherever we can.
Good. Well, welcome. I'm glad you've come to share some of your writing.
Thank you so much. This first one was, I knew it was going to be written about 3 years ago. I just didn't know what it was going to look like until you actually sit down and start doing it. And but I had the title, and the background of it is this is before I met Elaine, and my previous marriage was falling apart, and my father had just passed away. But I was grateful that a spur in the moment I drove many miles and saw him, and at least for 24 hours spent some time with him, and it was only a short time before he passed. And I was grateful for that, but of course, filled with regret that I didn't have more time with him. But nonetheless, I'm basically wearing grooves in I-95 and going back between where I was living then in the Hudson Valley in New York and Florida, and spending time with my mom then as things continued to crumble in New York. But there was this moment, amidst the insanity, because it was utter insanity, not to be confused with the current insanity, it was that insanity, and where I had this moment of clarity, and it was just absolutely ridiculous because I was driving back, and it was just one of those things where you shouldn't be still able to go 100 per hour. You should be stopped in your tracks as the traffic's so bad around this metropolitan area. But for whatever reason, I was getting right through. It was like that pool game that you're winning, but you're really not supposed to because you're not very good. And it just dawned on me. Do you know, Moses split the waters because he was in the zone. Moses was in the zone. Now, apparently there's a poem by the same name somewhere in the vicinity of this MacBook. Okay, so I thought I already brought it up. Sorry about that. Moses and his people, dodging Pharaoh, headed east, with trials like the desert and hunger, to say the least. They came upon the Red Sea. He cried, "I can't do this alone." He raised a stick. The wind kicked in. Yeah, Moses was in the zone. In the zone. Moses was in the zone. When the waves rolled back like curtains and the seabed turned to stone. Don't ask me about the physics. You'd swear it can't be done. Just open your eyes and realize Moses was in the zone. Now Ulysses, on his galley, with that grin his sailors hate, said, "Tie me to the mast before the sirens serenade." The sea was black as iron, the ship crashed through the foam. He defied the odds and foiled the gods. Ulysses was in the zone. In the zone. Ulysses was in the zone, tricking the likes of Cyclops and the wrath of Poseidon. Was it luck or plain good timing? It's chilling to the bone. Just open your eyes and realize Ulysses was in the zone. And Alexander crossed the sunrise, a kingdom in his stride. Marco Polo chased the rumors where maps ran out of lines. Sacagawea pointed westward, just follow where rivers roam. And Harriet lit the lantern, guiding footprints headed home. Now an old plains storyteller, sitting beside a cedar fire, said, "A young scout dwells among these stars, on the wing of a dream's desire. The night was cold and brittle. The wolves started to moan. He had the eagle's wisdom, body and soul. He was in the zone." Now Beethoven, in Vienna, ears bending toward the keys, couldn't hear his adoring fans lest the rustling of the trees. But a storm stirred in his heartbeat. He could taste and score each tone. Behold, the Ninth Symphony. Ludwig was in the zone. In the zone. Beethoven was in the zone, hammering out sonatas where silence should have grown. Listen closely for the secret. One's mind is truly blown. Just open your eyes and realize Ludwig was in the zone. If they were in the zone, my dears, we can get there too. It might now look impossible, but somehow we'll see it through. A tiny little coincidence or a feeling you've never known. Something strange and familiar that shows us we're not alone. In the zone. Moses was in the zone. When the waves rolled back like curtains and the seabed turned to stone, don't ask me about the physics. You'd swear it can't be done. Was it luck or plain good timing? It's chilling to the bone. Just open your eyes and realize if Moses was in the zone, we can find our own. I just wanted to share one other one, and obviously that's the jingly like a song because it's a song in D, and so I'm excited to perhaps bring it on the stage with Len, adding all kinds of things to it on this stage another Tuesday. But I had another one because that's quite wordy and full of content. I was glad to be working on something about the same time. And it was another one of those things, you love when you get a little flash of a line that is kind of groovy. And you think, well, this will go somewhere someday, maybe not today. But the you of this poem could be anything. It could be a person that excites your imagination. It could be your higher power. It could be a collective you of sorts, any kind of thing. But for whatever reason, the you of this poem is whenever you're in that mode or in the zone, perhaps, or with a certain person or persons, just things get a lot more colorful. So this is called Unicorns. You made me believe in dragons and unicorns. I see fairies and a genie in this bottle right here. Neverland and hobbits, magic spells and flying carpets, amid phantoms and King Arthur's spear. Fly now, fly now, fly into my arms. Fly now, fly now, fly into my arms. Our greatest freedom is between our two ears. We can live in a castle or be bound by our fears. So let's build our palace with guards at the gate, but they'll let you all through and put a smile on your face. Fly now, fly now, fly into my arms. Fly now, fly now, fly into my arms. You make me believe in dragons and unicorns. I see fairies and a genie in this bottle right here. Neverland and hobbits, magic spells and flying carpets, amid phantoms and King Arthur's spear. Thank you very much. Hey, thank you.
And hope to hear you one night at the. You come out to the Tuesdays as well.
With my guitar?
Nice. Oh, great. Nice. Anthea, come on up. Anthea wrote to me somehow on one of those internet things. It was Facebook. That's right. I would feel like I miss a lot of messages on Facebook through the theater page and the. Oh, sorry, it's a bit of a gauntlet. Well done. No. Oh, no, that worked. Email. You can leave a message here. So welcome. You are from
Victoria. But
Victoria.
I'm a
right.
recent immigrant
Transplant.
to Duncan.
Nice. Well, welcome.
I've been
to
here
Duncan.
since October 31st.
Ooh, that's an auspicious day to move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Came
welcome.
for a Halloween party and stayed.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
And
thank
Anthea,
you,
what's
thank you so
your
much.
last name again? It's a lovely name.
Whitaker.
Your full name. Give
My
them
name
here.
is Anthea Evangeline Whitaker.
Anthea Evangeline Whitaker. Lovely.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Can you hear me? Okay. So this is a poem that I wrote. Blood and breathing. I loved you each and every day. I loved you in each and every way. I loved you till my heart was round. I loved your earth. I loved your ground. I loved you till my heart was broken. I loved you with the words unspoken. I loved you each and every day. I loved you in each and every way. I loved you till my heart hit ground. It wasn't round. There was no sound. I never knew what it was you wanted. I loved you with words unfounded. I loved your heart. I loved your start. But I wished it was not you. I wished it was not you to hurt me. I loved you in all the ways. I loved you all the autumn days. I loved you till it burned my sight. I loved you each and every night. I loved you, but now I know it's wrong. But that is me. I'm so easy. Talk to me and I am breezy. I love you as the earth goes round. I'll hold you till it all melts down. And this is what you wouldn't do. You would never, never be my true. What was your role? What was your goal? I loved you in each and every way. I saw the good in all you say. I saw you treating people golden and the lava turning molten. And when volcanoes hit each night, I couldn't see. I wasn't right. I had no fight. I had no fight. I had no fight left in me. Too many years had passed for me to see what it was that you were saying, how your heart was razor sharp, how your soul was blazing red, that your life was barely held by a short and thinning thread, and we would all end up dead. I loved you anyway, as you screamed in quiet breathing, let me go, baby, no dreaming. My response was no, I won't go now, alone I don't want to be. I didn't know where I was, I didn't know where I was going. I reached out and found you holding. I loved you still, we climbed uphill. I missed my family, missed my friends, I missed a baby content and willed, who would have filled all my days, you looked away. I missed a heart from start that said, you are mine, don't ever leave me. I would have stayed every day, I would have never glanced away, but you threw it all away, as I loved you each and every day. So we're apart and now I'm glad, 'cause what is love but just a feeling? What's a heart but blood and breathing? What's a body but a vessel? What's the music with no rehearsal? What is me without you beside me? Empty, alone, and confused. I wished for futures bright and clear. Instead, I sit here in my tears, without you, my blood, my breathing. Thank you.
I'm here. Go anywhere. Where did you go?
I was hiding in the shadows there, listening with my eyes closed, which is a better way to concentrate. Was at the my son-in-law's dinner for his birthday the other night in Nanaimo, a very interesting Korean restaurant. And one picture was taken of me, and I thought, was I sleeping? Maybe a quick nap at the very busy restaurant, though. And how are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good, yeah, bring that down. We've known each other for a while.
Yeah, we have.
Many years. We won't guess at how many, but...
It has. I've been coming and going for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, not so consistent. But I'm here tonight.
Good. Well, welcome. We look
It's
forward
been
to
a while.
your contributions.
Right. So mine, last time it was like 5 to 7 minutes, and this is 7.
Ooh.
But I'm going to save 2 minutes with
Okay.
no introduction.
Okay. Well
And invest
done.
it
That's
into
a good
the
way
piece.
to trim it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because, I just want people the audience to figure out what it means with no introduction, and I'm happy to have feedback as well. This is actually a submission to the CBC nonfiction contest. So if there's any potential judges listening live stream or YouTube, stop right now, because it has to be anonymous. Vancouver Island, November 2025. I'm having breakfast at my kitchen counter when the words Darfur and rebel attack stop my hand mid-reach for the coffee cup. My stomach clenches. I fix my eyes on the radio as I listen to the broadcast about violence in the Darfur region of Sudan. 20 years collapse into this moment. Darfur burning again. I hear the reporters speaking of people fleeing their villages after Arab militia attack their communities, steal their land and livestock, burn their homes, rape their women and girls, and as I learned in 2004, some boys and men, though they rarely disclose. Ethnic cleansing again. People are pouring across the border into Chad, nearly 100,000 people in just 2 weeks. The new rebel group, RSF, Rapid Support Forces, is essentially the Janjaweed militia, mostly nomadic Arab fighters, with another name and better weapons. The attacks on civilians now involve drones. At least drones can't rape. Same violence, different decade. I picture the refugee camp at this same border. I picture the faces of people I interviewed, the little boy with haunted eyes, his desperate father, the young man in a white cotton robe who showed me his bullet wounds. I wonder who is conducting the assessment mission today. In 2004, Darfur was the biggest humanitarian crisis in the media. Today, Sudan competes with Gaza and Ukraine for the 6 o'clock news, hardly getting a follow-up report. In 2025, food rations to refugees have been cut so severely that children go hungry. But military spending increases. I think of what one colleague used to say, every penny spent on a bullet is food taken out of the mouth of a hungry child. During my time in Darfur, I looked into the eyes of that hungry child. I interviewed her parents. Chad, November 2004. I arrive in Chad with my colleagues, Levi and Mike, as part of an assessment mission to determine what our agency might be able to do in response to this global tragedy. We fly into N'Djamena, the capital city of Chad, then fly to the outpost town of Abeche, then drive 150 kilometers through deep sand roads to reach the refugee camps. 12 camps stretch along 600 kilometers of the Chad border where the Sahel meets the Sahara, surrounded by sand, scrub, and little else. Finally, we arrive at the first refugee camp and enter into a guarded gate. Tents have been pitched side by side through the desert sands with hardly enough space to walk between. As we climb out of our truck, I hear the call to prayer and see rows of Sudanese men in white flowing kaftans bending in prayer, women in brightly colored cloth gathered in a section behind. We are invited into a gathering of men. You have been given the status of honorary man so that you can be allowed into this male-only assembly, Levy informs me. Normally this would bother me, but I'm on foreign soil and I'm more concerned with hearing their stories. I sit, knees together, feet pointed behind with my pen and clipboard, a lone white woman in a sea of Muslim men in robes and head turbans. Our photographer, Mike, snaps a photo. This wound, it will not heal. The first young man shows me an angry red scar where a bullet entered his shoulder. Janjaweed shot me and left me for dead, but after they went away, my brother helped me escape. Several more men press forward to reveal scars, missing fingers. One man rolls up his pant leg to show me a lesion. My hand shakes slightly as I take notes, trying to honor each account, each wound, each person who is desperate to share their story with me. We move on to another area of the camp outside of this male-only gathering. I sit with my interpreter in the shade cast by a scrubby tree and begin to interview a leather-faced man, aged by hardship, not years. It's 45 degrees Celsius, and I can feel sweat pooling in the cleft of my knees and around my waistband. Armed men came, some on horseback, some with trucks, and took all our possessions, including a few of our women, the interpreter translates. I note that the man includes women as possessions which have been taken. I sense a movement and catch the wide, haunted eyes of his young son peering at me from behind his mother's skirts as I listen to what those haunted eyes have seen. The man speaks again, and his voice cracks. How will we live now? The interpreter translates. How indeed, I think, as I feel the weight of this question, which has no obvious answer. Hundreds of thousands of refugees are all asking the same question. I wonder how I'll manage to hold so much pain. Then I feel guilty as I think of how refugees will manage to live each day. By day's end, it's less clear to me what an assessment accomplishes. Desperate eyes watch me write, believing that paper and pen can bring food, medicine, safety, hoped-for miracles I cannot pull out of my sleeveless denim shirt. I feel like a voyeur, recording trauma, collecting stories, unable to know if or how this will help the people I'm interviewing. I'll stop there. I'll read maybe next session in a month or so. But just before I go, John and I think Bill and Tim, you know Wendy Weir, and she crossed the Rainbow Bridge Monday afternoon. She came to Duncan Showroom every chance she could, and she brought me here. We came together, and I just wanted to read this Post-it note. It was the last Post-it that she left on her fridge. Here's her message to us all. Life emerges, souls expand, family circles, memories shift, bodies fail, friends support, embrace reality. She says, see you on the other side. Bring chocolate.
Watch out for the gear. Oh, we could move the gear. Welcome, and you have traveled with your husband a great distance. Did you come up thinking it was music night too? Or you knew it was
Yeah,
flow?
no, we forgot that it was not music.
Well, I'm glad you were prepared. And I look
Yes.
forward to hearing your music.
Well, I wanted to read from my book, but I can't. I'd have to buy it
Right.
because I don't have a copy. So I decided to just read 2 songs, and then David will come and we'll do some sort of a poetry slam.
Okay,
of
make
some-
it. Shh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, got our eye on you, but I'm glad that you're going to try that. And welcome.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm looking for the English version of this. Look. It's called Look For It. I looked for it. It disappeared. I was just working on it and it disappeared. Look. Oh, I searched for it. Okay, so this guy in Quebec, he got very famous and appeared in all the shows. He was from France, and he wrote this song about where is joy and all this, and I got super jealous, so I wrote this one. I searched for it in brand new clothes, in my daily horoscope, on dating sites, feeling cold at the 4 corners of the world. I searched for it running from where it was gone, where it was last seen before. I hope to find it hereafter at last. I searched for it high and low. I searched for it, I searched for it in good wines, in other glances than mine. I searched for it playing fair, sometimes, in my love affairs. In the height and in the breeze, I climbed oh so many trees, like a monk in abstinence, giving myself penitence. I search for it high and low. I search for it, Tell me where happiness hides, that takes you over every tide, that pink cloud over the lives of everyone else inside. I search for it in magazines, in all the how-to therapies. Hypnotized by my madness, I search for it to carelessness. In the never-ending well of earth, I fell too deep, got too tired. When I let go in the desert, it was it that found me first. I search for it high and low. I search for it, And all along on this road, it was in us, Thank you. And the other one is a song we wrote yesterday, but we added a bridge. But I was looking at a box where you sell a newspaper in Toronto, and Israeli people were throwing rocks at the Arab people, and that's like 25 years ago, so not much has evolved. But I thought, what's wrong with them? And then I thought, what's wrong with you? You don't know these countries, you don't know the story, and you're throwing rocks at them. So I wrote this thing. I cannot see the view from your mountainside. I think I'm going to need the thing. I thought I knew. Walls. It's called All Those Walls. I cannot find the words to describe your world. You're so different than me, and you won't let me be. I try to understand, but it makes no sense. You're miles away from me, and I won't let you be. I cannot see the view from your mountainside. Still, there's a part of me that longs for you. What if, I'm asking you, I was a part of you, and you were a part of me that I refuse to see? All these walls that stand tall, what will it take to make them fall? And those ideas that are at war, we need to stop them from tearing our world apart. We need to stop us from tearing ourselves apart. It all begins with me, so they say. Can I love this part of you that I see in me? And if I ask you to, what would you say? Can you love this part of me that lives in you? All these walls that stand tall, that's all it takes to make them fall. And those ideas that are at war, we need to stop them from tearing our world apart. We need to stop us from tearing ourselves apart. I want to love you, so I'll tear my walls apart, so you can love me, for only I can stop the war. Thank you. And then come up. So this other song, you have to reply already. You know? And we do this show to help kids believe in themselves. And I'm good enough.
Already.
I can't. No, it's I am enough.
Already.
I'm good enough.
Already.
I can dream it.
Already.
I can start it.
Already.
I feel stuck. Where do I start? Describing myself feels kind of hard. Sometimes I'm happy. I like my body. But I catch myself.
Comparing me.
Not good enough.
And all that stuff.
It can be rough.
You know, that stuff.
Not good enough and all that stuff. But his body is mine.
For all my life.
I'd rather make friends.
And unite. You're good enough.
I think up dreams. In my mind, I think of dreams.
Beautiful and bright.
And I forget the
Beautiful
word.
adventures
Taking flight. When I feel fear to bring back peace, I listen to my art. It puts me at ease. I want my place.
Leave a trace.
Yet inside of me
Is an unsolvable maze.
I see me and you.
And you and me.
We're all different.
But the same, you see.
I am enough.
Already.
I'm good enough.
Already.
I can dream it.
Already.
I can start it.
Already.
So I'll be me and you'll be you.
And let all of them be
themselves too. Because this world is a puzzle. Together we can solve.
Its riddles.
No one is the same in this universe, made of many colors,
and multicultures.
on the same heartbeat.
Beautiful, complete.
Together we are a masterpiece.
I am enough.
Already, I'm good enough.
Already.
I can dream it.
Already.
I can start it.
Already.
Thank you.
This is Melody.
Yeah, this is Melody.
Oh yeah, this is our band. It's totally heavy metal. So bring your earplugs.
David and Hélène. Did I say it right? It's Hélène. When it's in French, it's because it's not Hélène, it's Hélène. Is that right? Hélène. Hélène. I know. Why do I have such trouble with that? I'm so English. Keith Williams, who we've not seen for many months. And he's been busy. I always admire Keith. I run into him in a coffee shop, and he'll have the greatest books ever you've seen. You always have good books.
Oh,
Is that a big part of your expenditure?
They're my only friends.
Right. Well, we're your friends. Mark and I, we're your friends. It's good to see you.
Yeah, pleasure, Bill.
Yeah, I'm glad you made it out.
Why are you still here?
I don't know.
I feel like I might have a contextual issue here tonight, but I'd like you to get to know me a little bit better. You probably can't tell by looking at me, but I'm a total roid monster. Not steroids, hemorrhoids. Yeah, my asshole looks like a big bowl of Concord grapes. Every time I take a shit, it sounds like a drive-by shooting. I try to wipe my ass after. Those things are popping like balloons at the end of a kid's birthday party. I look back at the toilet bowl after. It looks like someone slaughtered a fucking chicken in there. Just a bloodbath. I was in Vancouver a couple of weeks ago walking around downtown. I bumped into an ex-girlfriend. I hadn't seen her in probably 20 years. She's huge. Huge. I wouldn't have known her. How would I recognize her? Her face looked like the belly button on a fucking sumo wrestler. Just a little disc peering out of an ocean of flesh. I didn't even know what to say, so I opened with, "What the fuck have you been eating?" She said, "Wow, Keith, I see you're still not a very nice person." I said, "Yeah, you know what else I'm still not? Fucking massive. What have you been eating?" She said, "I can't control my metabolism." I said, "Can you control your fucking arm?" She said, "Wow, you know what, Keith? There's so many things I'd rather be doing right now than standing here talking to you." I said, do you want to know what I'd rather? I'd rather have a fucking grand piano dropped on my head from 2 stories up than have you roll over on me in bed, okay? Now, I don't know. Is it me? Did someone drop a pin out there? I see my friend Mark covering his face. I know things are going well. I was just going to read a couple of little paragraphs from a story that I wrote a few years ago. I called it Santonica Day. Anton Chekhov once wrote that anyone who has recuperated from a serious illness walks around with a constant smile on their face and a deep foreboding in their heart. It was while under the grip of exactly this contradictory state that I walked one luminous spring morning into the park. There seemed to be a riot of joy and positivity, of human gratitude, my own beatific smile blending in seamlessly, I was sure, with the families and strollers, lovers and dogs, kites in the breeze off the sea, which reflected the sky, which reflected the sea back, and the bending grass, invisible birdsong, and music of leaves. The sun was radiant, dazzling, showing off. I sat down on an empty bench and tilted my face up toward the sun, eyeing it warily, basking, smiling, and grinding my teeth. My father had just returned from a visit at the home of his oldest brother. As we sat down to breakfast, he mentioned that my cousin Victor was back home after a long stay in China and had brought with him a new Chinese wife. I asked, "How does she seem? Does she like it here?" "Not bad," he said, "but she spoke no English, only the one phrase, 'Happy to see you go.'" My father noted also that my cousin's eyes looked different. They seemed to have narrowed, possibly even taken on a bit of a slant. He wondered if this might have been some sort of evolutionary adjustment. My mother scoffed and said that was silly, impossible, that he'd probably had cosmetic surgery while over there in order to fit in better. She aimed the remote like a ray gun at the television, and the volume shot up. I said, "I think I need to go now." But at that instant, Judge Judy drove the gavel down on a verdict involving a dispute over the placement of dog shit on a lawn. so no one heard me. Thank you.
Oh. Okay, you really brought that around, sort of. All right. The management takes no responsibility. Jared, did you bring something to read? Yes. And your friend also wants to read too? What's your name? Kaya. Kaya? Okay. I have not seen you for a few days. Yes. How's your little one doing?
He's good.
Good. And how little is he? Many months.
He's going to be 2 in April.
Holy crackers. That's gone amazingly fast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and what's his name again?
Alex.
Alex. That's a good name. Well, welcome, my friend. It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Nice scarfing, too. I'm jealous.
Yeah, this is a repurposed scarf. I think it used to be a plaid shirt. Multiple plaid shirts. I just have some really old writings that I was finding earlier today. And they were probably meant to be songs. But I don't think they ever ended up that way. A sight to behold, watching the rain turn to snow, wishing I was out there, I'd survive the cold. Because this scenario is growing old on me, willing and able to brave the storm, barely. I'm losing sight of what I used to call home, only the light in the window. If I could only conceive of the shadows within, how much time has taken me away to create and innovate. This human being who we become, who we became all along. Singing the same old song, marching to the drum beat, bleeding out on the street, asking for peace. Part of who we are that decided we need police. If what the problem is not capable of living, if what the trouble is only the veil is lifting, the puzzle pieces aren't fitting back together. Whether they ever did or not is a mystery to me. The true struggles that we all feel as a human being, hidden clues under the surface, your old soul repurposed. Almost as if one couldn't rehearse this. Is the life we live free, waking up the nothing but the glee inside of me? Maybe one day, but I'd have to reclaim the territory. I'm weaning myself off of what I'm sure I'll leave behind. Knowing of the flaws underneath the surface of my mind. Never worry for me. I'd run away if I was so inclined. Never search for me. I'll be hard to find. To define myself by my inabilities. To realign myself with disciplinary. Rewire the circuitry of who I'm supposed to be. I've grown too close and I care too much to see. I've known this weight so heavy, I can't seem to breathe. As your wind blows through and I feel relieved. Believe in myself before I believe you. I leave you with the words that seep through everything that I ever thought was true. One day my failures will show their value. Who am I to second guess many messages you send? Nothing else is lovely, but trust that I'm finding a way to rise above these things I'm trying to leave behind. Surely there must be another way around this time. The curve in the road always realigns. Best believe in myself before I believe who I used to. See in the mirror before thoughts seep through. About everything I ever thought about as you. About all my failures and their true value. Who am I to second guess many messages you send? Something that I never stress. I guess I had to vent. And this is the last one. Wouldn't you hear me out this once or talk to me about what we believe society's leading us to believe? But it's the belief you will not hear, a few simple words you can perceive, the introspection to which we all arrive eventually. I wish I could show you in such a way that you could see it, to pick up the pieces and observe ways you retrieve it. Lies on the surface, and looks can be deceiving. Just like every single label you attribute to me. Don't you think in politics there lies a subtle design to cast negative perceptions and control the mind of the populace, simply just to keep them in line? Evidence of this sanctimonious decline. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. Whoa. Oh. Gord, did you bring something? Sanctimonious decline. I like that. Where did Gord go? Is he there? Oh, all right. Maybe he's not here. Kea. Did I say that right? Been having struggling with names. Sanctimonious decline. And Long John's been posting lately. I hope you wallowed in it, which sounds. I don't know why I carried a negative connotation to that word, but it's not really. It says that predominantly in the dictionary it tells you that to wallow in is to enjoy, to a high degree. So I guess it's perception. Welcome. This your first time to Flow?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and honestly, my first time speaking into a mic. So.
Oh well, don't be nervous.
Of course I am.
Nothing to it. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so I've basically gone through my old stuff. Some of the stuff I've written, since it could have been since I was 14 years old. Let's see what I want to start off with here. Maybe we'll start off. This is one that I wrote when I was, I believe I was 14 years old. I entered into a poetry contest and they declined it because they said that they thought an adult wrote it for me, so. Kea Lacey, the definition of a strange serenity. I've created a reality of beautiful sin and sinister beauty. My creation illuminates the shadowed hollows laid upon twisted paths, and residing at the end is true harmony. Spaced out in that little space between the trip and the ecstasy within, and tripping on life's aberrant ways, days to where the turn to enchantment begins. My mind's mended and twined around the branches of the unknown, sunk deep into the stems of the blooming roses of retrospect. Me bizarre? Some would say full-blown. The curious remain silent, as our loud minds speak calmly through the energy, passed through the eyes that peered into the souls of the timeless. It's simply mind science, to rely on the inner mental riot, to decipher the enigma of bewildered liars, Don't you see? I'm not anxious or nervous around these analytical creatures. I'm a seeker, an observer, at times alienated, an alien of more than just reason. Okay, which one? All right. All right, here's another one. Presence is the essence of reality. My sanity is madness to those who don't seem to see clearly. They feel sincerely, though they ignore their mind's rationality and replace it with a toxic mixture of chaos and calamity. Is it truly that hard to see? Manifestation is in our palms, and we create with every breath we breathe. So show darkness to the door and ask it kindly to leave. Let the light become all-consuming, because a little spirit is all you need. Yes, the light of day is consuming in many different ways. Much as darkness is addictive, and numbness nowadays is overplayed. When it's a matter of choice, why do we choose to play the game and then complain that everything in life always stays the same? Are we nervous of bliss? How can that be when we're perfect creationists? Do we not understand certain thoughts harbor anxiety and create uneasiness? It's as simple as this. What your spirit believes is what creates your experience. So let the light control your existence. The addiction to darkness seems to fade away, and the numbness we have chosen becomes just a thought we push away. Okay, here's another short one. I took care of my mom when she was really sick, and this is one I wrote for her, or wrote when she passed away. Let me tell you a story about a lady named Love. She puts away her feelings and puts on a blue glove. They say she is a healer, ready and willing to help. She drowns her mental needs, consumed with others' physical health. Every day she relapses into the pattern of neglecting herself, beaten and battered. Her soul is shredded and shattered, scattered. Her laugh used to be infectious. Now her stress spreads like a cancer. Thank you. I got one here. We'll do maybe two short ones here. There's one specific one that I had. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Some random doodles. See if I got an actual one that looks like a picture. This is my mind, really. Oh, here's a fun one. Nice little one. Yeah. This is my brain when I'm doodling. Is basically just lines. Okay, we'll do one more, maybe. If I can find it. Okay. I lock my mind into the mesmerizing unknown. I'm known to waste my breath on life's bridges and folds, unfolding like a lotus, although I'm rigid and hopeless, hoping for a better day, better ways to say I can't handle the world on my shoulders. I watch the idea of revenge be injected into the lives of people shooting up hate with a dull and dirty syringe, fighting fire with fire, hiring angels to sin, anger turning benevolent cheeks into sinister grins. This is where I begin to explain the transformation from the darkness brewing outside to the explosive light from within. Serenity within my grasp. I'm focused, ready to win. Conquering the expectations, heavy-hearted, breathe out, breathe in. Surrender to the feelings of vulnerability, shedding my skin, opening my eye, a reality that's rational is the definition of insanity. Vanity coursing through the veins. What a shameful mess envy is, pointing at money to take the blame. Okay, we'll do one more short one, and then I'm out of here. This is also one I wrote. This is 2013, so I'm 28 now, so I was pretty young. The souls around us so rationed by the sixth sense of ego, making each conscious mind dwell in the instability of reality. a craving for the norm that creates a false sense of fulfillment, that mask with brutality. Weakened minds screaming for awareness, crawling through each day feeling as if there was something vacant from the still life, so distant from the truth. Some believe that true serenity lies in a life full of value. So oblivious to the shadow of anxiety weighing heavy on each shoulder, where is my sanity behind this unruly power, literally devouring every subconscious truth that each unknown has behind it, and subsiding in it is the darkness that lies humanity seems to live by. Presently, society stands at a crossroad of what they believe to be complete utopia, but the earth can't breathe for us all. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Whoa. Very good, heartfelt writing. Well done. That last one, you were 16? Or ish? What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's one of those old soul apparitions you are. It was babes and beer and motorcycles for me at that age. Thank you all for those diverse, we'll say, additions. And thank you for coming out. I'm sure you'll support all the events at the showroom and come back. We're always the third Thursday of the month. No, that's not right. Sorry. We're always the last Tuesday of the month. Okay. It's very close. Last third Thursday, last Tuesday. You know.
31 choices.
I know. But thank you so much, especially for those of you who are new and have come out and been brave and shared some personal writings. Very much appreciated. So have a good night. We'll see you again. Thank you.
Probably the 500 digit pi or something like that.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's been ever since I was a kid. If it wasn't, I was failed grade when I was a kid. I'm just writing poetry and doodling basically.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I do? I feel all the holes, the piece. I feel all the round things, everything that can be sealed. I feel.
Yeah, I'm about to say, as though if I got a blank piece of printer paper and a black pen, I could work it out.
Yeah, I know. It feels like making sense of what's insanity.
Yeah,
You know, it's like we're all insane in our own unique way. You two guys are very close to what's going on inside. I enjoy your work very much.
Gil, you got something to say, so go out there and say it. I'll say it to you, but say it more slowly.
Yeah.
You were nervous?
Oh yeah, it's terrifying.
many words, and I wanted you to do it again,
Yeah.
so that I could.
You can drink it.
Right, with songs we get to sing a chorus.
I'm
You
so
know?
I'm so nervous up there. I've never even spoken on the mic before.
Yeah, well, that's good. Keep doing it. Keep doing
You
it.
are enough.
Yeah, you are enough.
Yeah.
Deja.
Good
Beautiful.
job.
Thank you.